G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an M-1911 commander pistol, presumably owned by a commander with its engraved and expensive looking grip there, a little bit more decorated than the standard 1911. All the textures are 4K and this thing uses deliver animations, but if you use deliver animation replaces, for some reason I can't get it to work with this thing, so maybe it's slightly different. Not really sure what's going on there, but it looks high quality. There's a couple of problems, we'll get to those as we get to them, but for the most part, it definitely looks good as it is right now. Let's get into the attachments. Not a whole lot going on here. You've got the standard receivers going up from standard to advanced, light frame, hardened, powerful, calibrated, powerful. Everything's there. If you want to do crits with this thing, use that one, but we're going to go for maximum damage as we can here. Now you can chuck on a threaded barrel. It'll increase your accuracy a little bit because that slightly increased barrel space would in real life. That's a little nice attention to detail. Although it does increase the decrease the weight despite being different, more material. Maybe the barrel is lighter with the threaded thing on it. Maybe it's a whole barrel replacement. Not really sure. And you can have grip plates, which don't actually make any physical changes to the thing, but you can get yourself slightly better stats. So we'll definitely go for the sharpshooter's grip plates. And you can increase the magazine and reload speed using this. You can only get up to 10 rounds in a magazine, which is kind of subtle. It only sticks out the magazine by a little bit, but you take basically what you can get out of this thing because the mag capacity at 10 is not the highest. Can't do anything with the sights, can't even put any glow sights on this, which is kind of strange, so that's about it for that one. And you can chuck on a flash hider, which increases your accuracy but decreases range. Probably not the best thing you could do to a pistol. You can have a compensator, which decreases your range even more but increases your accuracy. Mainly these things are there for recoil purposes, and pistols don't have a lot of recoil in this game, so better off you leaving that. But you've got the Osprey suppressor. Looks exactly what it will look like on the 10mm. Are you sure the 45 is going to get out of that tiny little barrel? Alright then. That's interesting. I wonder if that's from somewhere else or whether that's actually part of it. But definitely looks good. I think it matches the color and sort of shape of the 1911 there. But we'll chuck one of those on. I'll have this an unsuppressed and suppressed form so you can hear this thing out loud. Legendary slot if you want it, and you can change the finish. Now these are all 4K textures, so if you've got a slow computer, there is a 2K variant for you to download if you feel like using that. Or if you want to make the mod in itself a little bit less taxing on your hard drive space, then you can do that. So there's camo finish, not really that good looking, stainless finish, and engraved finish. Engraved is a little bit too much. Not really a huge fan of that. I think classic and stainless are the better ones here. We'll leave this on classic, and then with the other ones we'll grab something a little bit more, I guess, flamboyant, and we get a trigger. Now, funnily enough, the standard trigger limits your rate of fire to 50, but the other triggers here, like that, this is a crisp 2-stage trigger. Basically, they're going to make you fire as fast as you can pull the trigger, which is really good. You never not want to use one of these things, which this one has just gun nut rank 1, which you can get at the start of the game. So fire rate equals 0 means you can fire it as fast as you can. That's cool, and that's about it for this one. So we'll get into some gameplay now, I suppose. Righto, so we'll be starting this one inside Gunner's Plaza there, and if you just noticed that this thing has some sort of issues with the textures not being on the cartridge there, that's why it's bright pink there. That's a problem this thing has, and I downloaded the fix for it to go away, but it's still around. So that's what it looks like in first person, very nice. Going to third person, can't really take a great look at these things, but when they're in the hands of 4K textures, they're great. They're good stuff. And I guess the only problem with the 4K textures is that they really drive up the the amount of megabytes this thing has, because I think we're sitting around 300-ish, maybe even more megabytes for a download like this, which is kind of insane. But like I said, there are 2K textures, which I would probably consider you getting them thing. It'll just make it slightly less crazy on your hard drive. So right now we're just going through this nice and sneaky James Bond style, and we almost got ourselves into danger there. Kind of stopped getting our sneak criticals. So yeah, there's a couple of problems. I think 4K is pushing it. Although tactical, he had his 4K things. He had 4K textures with his AMAC, but that was only 16 megabytes, that whole mod. I'm guessing the extra textures and the other things with this, the skins really would have brought the whole thing up. So, really having no problems here. The 4.4 times multiplier is making this look very, very easy, and we are on very hard difficulty with which, just so you know, has a half damage penalty, so it's not like we're hitting these guys for nothing. But as soon as we get into danger, if we're firing as fast as we can possibly pull the trigger, mouse button 1, that's a very quick button to push. So here's the other problem that I have. This thing, it doesn't sound good without a suppressor at all. It does not sound good. It's like they've gone to the firing range, they've got an M-1911 in real life and recorded the thing firing, and there's just not enough punch. It's all just echo, and there's no reverb or anything. It just feels very unnatural. I don't actually like this sound at all. It's not the worst I've ever heard, but it's certainly not pleasant. Also, one of the firing sounds in here, it's a lot quieter than the rest, so I would probably not want to use this thing unsuppressed, but just to give you an idea of what the thing's power is whilst unsuppressed, it does pretty well. And we're getting through these guys very, very quickly here, but I think we'll just stay with this thing, and looks like, or it sounds like it's using the 10mm pistol. It sounds for the suppressed, so I guess we'll move on to the next job. Righto, time to fight this gigantic behemoth over there. Ooh, someone's got something over there. I think there's a bunch of children with Adam around. Yeah, they're making a pretty good effect on him, and even more gunners. Well, may as well use this thing in VATS, and I've maxed out the amount of shots I can do. So this thing looks like you can use it in VATS, like, permanently. It's kind of like the Deliverer in that way, so if you don't feel like your own aim is that good, you can use it like that. It's pretty good. There's a little bit of a tactical advantage to being efficient in VATS. Generally, pistols are pretty good. This is a problem. Ow. Don't do that. So I recently modified that mod to give all of the bosses 80% damage reduction, just to give them, I guess, what'd you call it? I should probably pay attention to this monster. Give them the Fallout 76 feels of them having just massive amounts of health. The mysterious stranger might show up here. I think I saw him. Probably not. He generally only shows up when he can actually steal your kill. We'll remain hopeful. So the criticals are hitting for about 400. There's 5 crits in a row there, and hopefully we won't exit VATS before too long. Ooh, we got lucky there. We got protected a little bit with VATS. Now, if you want to hit me, I've got ghoulish, so ow. Someone's thirsty. And he's completely stuck. Cool. So I just wanted to use some tactical ghoulish there to trade some of my empty health bar for rads for health. It all works out. And old mate over there is going to continue shooting at Gerald, as his name is. Don't think we've ever gone down to the random encounter zone here. Chaos Junction, I think its name is. But once we get the sneak criticals going and we can pile on that damage extremely fast, let's just get rid of you. Apparently, that was really weird. I guess he was aggroed, but now that Swan is, Gerald is just sort of standing there, and we can max out the sneak attack crits. Yeah, it's gonna kill him super fast. Yeah, the DPS on this thing is insane, and 45s is not like they're super hard to get, so potentially for a sort of late game weapon with a suppressor, you're not gonna find too much stronger than this. It probably might even out DPS the Deliverer, which I guess makes sense because it's firing a bigger cartridge, but still, the Deliverer is a tough weapon to beat. Okay, so here we are outside of the HMS Northern Star or something like that. FMS, sorry, HMS that's a British thing, isn't it? Her Majesty's or whatever. So there's a bunch of Mirelurks here, then we'll go and kill some raiders, some Norwegian raider dudes. And looks like we can one-shot this fella. Yep, see you later. And, ooh, plenty of Mirelurks running about these days. Glowing Mirelurks, I think they're tougher in 76. They don't seem to be as bad. But we've got some crits generated out of that. We may need to use them a little bit soon. We've got a glowing Mirelurk dude, and they're shooting through the hull to get to him. So, you know, these guys mean business. And okay, they're kind of stupid. Most of them don't have guns. I guess there's not a lot of guns to loot off the Mirelurks that they kill. And what do we got here? We got a veteran. I agree. Whatever he just said, I agree. I'm not sure what they're saying. Norwegian, it's a language that I do not understand. And I'm pretty sure Bethesda don't understand it, because people who actually know Norwegian, I've seen that they say, hey, they make no sense what they're saying. I don't know if this is like a reference to something. That one's got a pull cue. Yeah, good luck, buddy. Let's hit him with a gun. There we go. Yuck, had to stand that close to a bloody ghoul. Not the worst thing to do, or not the best thing that happened to me today. Anyways, so here we are on top of the FMS, and there's an org there. That's cool. This is where you find the agility bobblehead too. But now our target is the Wendigo, which is what I called that thing before Fallout 76 was released. I'm gonna keep calling him that, because why not, eh? Now, what we want to do is just shoot him a bunch of times in the face, and if we are lucky, we manage to get a bunch of sneak criticals, we can push our damage incredibly far indeed. We are pretty far away from him. Probably the range penalty here is screwing us over a little bit. We are full up on crits should we need them though, and I don't think he's got any chance of seeing me up here, so that's good. Oops, I tossed the rifle down to him. And we're on. So let's go ahead and chuck some criticals at him, because we won't get much damage anywhere else. Interesting camera angle. The camera really struggles if you're pointing down with a pistol. That one didn't seem too bad, but we'll keep on critting. Now we're only getting a tiny little bit of damage, but he's booking it out of there. He's got a big head, so it should be easy enough to hit. And we can use this to get down, and maybe to lure him back. We are back in caution though, which is helpful for getting a couple more cheeky sneak crits, although there's something over there. I think that's a Feral Ghoul Reaver that usually they've got a couple that spawns. It's reinforcements. He's run over there. Apologies to anyone watching from a phone right now. You got no idea what I'm shooting at. Let's get a little bit closer. Hopefully we won't get way too close to him and end up dying, because that would be foolish. But generally I don't see him run off like this. And the fog has rolled in. That's interesting. It's going to make it pretty much invisible. Alright. Cool. Just got to chase this guy from halfway across the Commonwealth. That's fine. But even bats can see him now. He's way out of there. Interesting. I think this is one of the places where a Mirelurk Queen might spawn. Alright, there he is. Let's try to lure him a bit closer. Managed to get a headshot there. He's still running off. He wants no part of this. There we go. Go for a critical here. Nice little cinematic shot of the 45 there. And, oh, come on. Alright, we're back in, and well, he's still bloody running, and we don't want to get too close to this guy because he'll immediately turn on me and then try to start killing me. So we're going to shoot him like this, because I don't think we'll have the DPS to get him otherwise, because this guy, he's dangerous. At this point, I'm pretty much a one-shot kill. And that's a crit. We'll use it and go for a reload. Shoot him. Keep going. Don't stop. And one more. There we go. No backflip. No backflip. Alright. And a couple more on the head just to make sure. So I think that's about it. I think you've got all you need to know about this thing. It's like a decent mid-game pistol, but you know, you kind of want to move on from pistols post mid-game, but you can push it a little bit further should you need to, if you want to use sneak criticals with a suppressor, which is probably the way to get damage, like I said. But if you are interested in seeing this weapon in your game, then check the links in the description. There are plenty of other 1911s out there. Some of them are compatible with animation replacers, so that might tickle your fancy instead of this one. But I wouldn't say this is a bad mod. There's a couple of things that need to be worked out, and maybe a little bit more of a identity, because what this thing does, it doesn't really do anything different than the other M1911s. Not that it really can, it's just a pistol, but, you know, maybe if there was a little bit more creative stuff about it, maybe it might be a little bit more appealing. But if you want this thing, check out the links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, guys.